Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road. Are you ready to go? Join us today. My name is Jake Gill with Live Music Nation podcast. Today we are with Talia. Talia, tell us where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
What kind of accent is that? That is not native to New Mexico.
It is not exactly native. I've been here for 6 years, and I was born and raised in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
You carry your O's so well, but you've shortened them greatly.
Well, if I'm auditioning for an American movie, which of course they are all American movies
Right.
here, then I make sure I say sorry and about. I have a son-in-law who's a Brit, and he says in order to sound Canadian, he has to just pretend he's drunk. It's kind of the same for me if I want to really sound American. I just pretend I'm a little drunk.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And then
Talia, give us a little background onto you as your upbringing and your career.
Yes, well, I did a lot of theater and a lot of film in Canada. And I also taught at a university there. I taught film. I taught theater. And I've written some plays, a lot of plays that have been produced. Some have been published, some teaching, drama, resource books. And then I co-wrote with Joy Story in New York, some monologue books, and also threw in a children's book.
Awesome. Awesome. What brought you to New Mexico?
Well, I always say I came for love. It wasn't that I met someone that lived in New Mexico. It's that my Canadian husband, Bill, really wanted to live in Santa Fe. So here we are.
So here you are. Very good. And you're with Theater Santa Fe. Tell us about the event you have coming up.
Yes, of course. Theater Santa Fe is the umbrella organization of all the producing theater companies in Santa Fe. It's been around for approximately the same amount of time that I've been here. I joined the board when I moved here. It was a fledgling organization. It kind of takes care of everybody who's producing theater. And believe it or not, in our small city, we have 27 producing theater companies.
Wow.
Not many of them are big enough to have their own building. And so there are a lot of them that are looking for spaces always and doing more independent productions. But it's a very thriving scene. So Winnipeg, Manitoba we call it the largest fringe festival in North America. We're kind of competing with Edmonton for that honor year on, year off, but it's huge. 150,000 plus people attend that fringe festival every year.
Okay.
So when I came here, I thought, what a perfect place for a fringe festival. But we don't quite have the infrastructure or the government funding for that matter. So what I do instead is organize something called Theater Walk.
Okay. Like
a tiny little mini fringe festival. And so the theater companies in town get together and we produce theater all in one day. And so these are short 10-minute pieces. In this particular walk, which is going to be this Saturday, there are 4 venues and 12 of our companies have decided to participate this time. And so that means there are 3 companies in each venue, and they each have 1 performance every hour for 3 hours.
And the cost of this is how much?
Nothing. It's by donation.
Okay.
We're holding it in the Fashion Outlet Mall. And so they have a thing about not charging when they're giving us the space for free. So It's all by donation. So yeah, the Fashion Outlet Mall used to be a very thriving enterprise, but they have a few empty storefronts these days. So we take them over.
Oh, very cool.
And produce theater in empty storefronts. So it's a beautiful location to do this in. People can just walk right across the courtyard to the next event. And we have Cirque du Soleil type performers. We've got Wise Fool, a local circus company here, doing things in the courtyard in between the plays.
Oh, very, very cool. Now, where do you guys normally do most of your productions?
Well, I've done it in a variety of places. There's something called the Lab now, which used to be the Adobe Rose. I've done a show there. I used to manage a building called Warehouse 21, which had a beautiful little black box theater. I did a lot of productions in there, and that has now been given back to the city. That building doesn't exist for us anymore. And so what we are doing is taking over one of the units in the Fashion Outlet Mall. That's where I'll be producing, and a lot of other people as well. So we'll have our own black box theater again.
Oh, very good, very good. What do the donations go towards?
It goes towards our operating expenses, and we're there to support all the theaters. So we do print advertising with them, and we put on these events which cost money. We've got programs
Sure.
printed, etc. So that's where it goes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How can people find out more information about the Theater Walk?
They go to theatersantafe.org, and they'll find it right there on the homepage.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us, Talia, and letting us know about what's going on in the Southwest, especially Santa Fe, and live entertainment as it persists. So I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate
Absolutely.
being here.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of